Hello and good morning. 16 minutes after the hour on your Sunday morning, a VA employee has been placed on administrative leave after an email surfaced in which he directed his staff on how to, quote, game the system. The email from telehealth coordinator David Newman reads this: yes, it is gaming the system a bit, but you have to know the rules of the game you are playing, and when we exceed the 14-day measure, the front office gets very upset. Well, this is just the latest in a string of problems that have been surfacing with the VA. So how is the Veterans Agency supposed to be helping and reacting? Let's ask Jessie Jane Duff, a retired Gunnery Sergeant with the U.S. Marine Corps and member of Concerned Veterans for America. Good morning, and thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Anna. Thank you for having me.
Well, finally, there's some action that's been taken. Secretary Shinseki made that action on May 9th when he said he found out about this. But Jessie Jane Duffy, you know what? Our producers uncovered a report from December showing that there was some information revealed saying the very same thing.
You know what I find, though, is that this has been going on continuously, and veterans are aware of this. This has been going on in the past year alone. 5 deaths were associated with a lack of care at Dorn Medical Facility. We've had 700 sick veterans and multiple deaths due to Legionnaire's disease in Ohio. And then we've had 1.5 million records that have been deleted for appointments by the VA. And Secretary Shinseki is acting like, hey, now I'm going to come in and try to save the day? It's appalling to me.
Well, you know, it's unarguable that he's a war hero. He likely has good intentions. So where's the disconnect with all of this?
You know, I applaud him for being a war hero, but so are the veterans that he's supposed to be serving. Many of those veterans have served multiple tours overseas. Many of those veterans have put their lives on the line also. So to give him special privilege because of his status, how about the status of the thousands of veterans and millions of veterans that the VA is responsible for? You know, when the VA starts caring more about its numbers than its lives, it has lost its soul.
The media has really been asking some tough questions, and finally some action is what we're seeing with some accountability. But how do we get more of this? Nobody's lost their job.
You know, that's another thing. The VA Accountability Act, Management and Accountability Act, will allow the VA Secretary to fire executives. It is the same privilege that the Secretary of Defense has right now. Secretary Hagel can fire executives, but our VA Secretary cannot. So like Sharon Hagel, who was out in Phoenix, who allowed that secret list of 1,600 veterans, she was promoted after fudging numbers out of Seattle, Washington on veteran suicides. So instead of moving them out, they move them up.
Yeah, just move them to a different state. Maybe nobody will notice is what a lot of critics are saying. How high do you think this culture of alleged corruption with cooking the books actually goes? How high up, you think?
Oh, my goodness. When the 1.5 million records were found by the Government Accountability Office to have just disappeared, it's as if these veterans don't exist. So if 1.5 million records have been deleted, and we don't know whether the veterans ever even received care, the 40 veterans dead in Phoenix and the 5 in Dorn Medical Facility, you know what? I think it's thousands of veterans have lost their lives.
Oh, when they signed up to serve, they certainly were thinking they would be taken care of when they came home. We want to make sure that they get some great care. Jessie Jane Duff, thanks for your time today.
Thank you for having me, Anna.